Minister and his supporters in Halfway Tree, the opposition leader, the PNP president, Mark Golding, and a group of supporters had gathered at PNP headquarters at 89 Old Hope Road, monitoring what was happening in Halfway Tree, and in anticipation, of course, of the announcement of the date. And he gave a response so soon as the Prime Minister had announced the date. And Mr. Golding said the Prime Minister was forced to make the call as his administration was out of time.
We have been waiting for this moment for a very long time. Yes. We have been walking the length and breadth of Jamaica. Yes. The highways and byways, the hills and the valleys. Yes. And everywhere we go, as a united party, yes, the people say they are ready for change. Yes. And all they've wanted for so long is for the government to change and for us to call election so that we can move forward as a nation. And you know, obviously we are running scared because no government leads it to the 11th hour. And really the election call itself, because they were out of time. They were out of time.
Mark Golding there, and based on the Observer's reporting this morning by Arthur Hall, the minute Holness announced the September 3 date, the PNP supporters erupted into loud cheers as the party's campaign song, Blood and Fire, Comrades, rang out from one of the campaign vehicles. Golding emerged from inside the office to greet the comrades who were celebrating Time Come. Here is Mr. Golding, yes, saying that the PNP will now be stepping up its campaign in the coming days.
And so I say to you tonight, comrades, now we have to step up the thing. Yes. We'll be on the road. And we'll be continuing to take our message of hope to the people. And I say to each of you in your constituencies, carry the message far and wide. And let the people understand what we plan to do and how we intend to make a better life for the people of Jamaica. Our plans are solid. Our plans are relevant. Our plans attack the real issues of concern for the people of this country. And we have the capacity and the will and the determination to execute on our plans when we form government.
Mark Golding at PNP headquarters last night, responding to the announcement by the Prime Minister that we'll be going to the polls on September 3 this year. Yes? Monday, August 18 is nomination day. Well, just before we wrap and go to a number of people, several persons are WhatsApping me to talk about what was emblazoned on the Prime Minister's jacket last night, where it says 1 p.m. So I'm told that my explanation didn't quite cut it. The street talk is 1 p.m., never 2. So it's 1 Prime Minister, never 2. Right? But I heard another perspective that it was partly a response to the PNP slogan of Time Come. But I'm being told no. The street talk is 1 p.m., never 2. So it's 1 Prime Minister, never 2. And that, and I'm being told that is an indication of the influence of the younger members of the Labour Party on the older members. So they're infusing the campaign with the talk of the streets. Yeah? So I get it. So I sell it. I'm not earning the profit on it. Yeah? All right. All right. So our first call of the morning. Ian, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Hughes. How are you?
Good morning. I am good.
Good, great. Boy, yesterday was such a fascinating day. It was, believe you me, it's the first I've seen so much labor rights at a conference like that. And, you know, I would want to Andrew in a sense to that of the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller. I tell you what, Andrew, if you remember well you would, when Portia was Prime Minister, they attacked her on her education. They attack her internally, that is now, right? As to her ability to be a Prime Minister. And it never gone well because one thing with Jamaica, they don't like when you fight against people. And when you look at Prime Minister Andrew Holness now, they attack him because of how he is wealthy. You know, you get that feeling as if he should have been wealthy. And it's something that I think the PMP have not learned on that. When you attack individuals, you're not going to be viewed in a well manner for Jamaica. And what the Prime Minister did last night, he awoke some sleeping laborers. He awoke some sleeping voters who wanted to be ignited. And I believe the Prime Minister ignited them last night. There's a part of his speech, and you were speaking to me earlier on, how he got emotional.
Yeah.
And while I was on the road, first was saying to me, so them really fight against the mainstream wealthy. They were even angry at the high sea. And then say, I'm going to put him back there. If me not vote for nothing else, that me a vote for, because them too bad mind. And these, I'm not talking about people who came to the conference, Mr. News. People that I interacted with along the way.
Yes.
And that's what Andrew did last night. He awoke those voters. And trust me, I said it on this program the last election that it was going to be a landslide, and they said no. I told him that he was going to lose, and I told him that Bunting would be getting dumped. And let me tell you something, Mr. News. You can see a shocker in the next election because they still don't understand the new voting population and how they think. And that's what the PMP is missing.
Well, I don't know. You are predicting, yeah? What I do know is that we have had some recent history. The attack in 2016 on Andrew Holness's house, yeah, did not work. And they have gone down the road again, this time with his declarations, yes? And what he is doing, and I don't know if it will be successful, what he's doing, he's identifying with the ordinary Jamaican who has had to struggle, yeah, because we didn't born with into wealth. We couldn't inherit any trust fund at 21, yes? And the structure of capital in this country is such that if you don't have that start, yeah, it's called collateral to get a loan to start businesses. Dog, near me your supper.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Oh, yes.
And he's speaking to that now. And I don't know if it will work, but let us see now.
One last question now for you, Mr. News.
Yes, sir.
I never get to finish. You never get to finish with me last. Headley Brown. What happened to him in the 90s?
Headley Brown was a former governor of the Bank of Jamaica. Headley Brown had difficulties, personal difficulties. The nature of those difficulties we can only speculate on. Yes? Okay. But he killed himself. He committed suicide.
And what period was that? After the financial meltdown or within that period?
It was during the 1990s. I would have to check just to be dead accurate whether it was during the meltdown which led to FinSAC or it was the late 80s. I'm not sure, sir. I'd have to refresh my memory on that.
Okay, and Peter Bunting, why did he resign in 1993 after beating Ushera and was, I think in 1993 was the election that he got elected.
Why did he resign?
Yes.
Oh, why you're taking me way back now, you know. He won in the March 1993 general election, Southeast Clarendon, narrowly defeating the former Prime Minister, Hugh Shearer. And, after he won, it was an upset. The word was, that he thought he would have gotten a senior cabinet position or a more senior position. I think he was made parliamentary secretary in, I think it was Ministry of Health. And it is felt that he wasn't really going where he wanted to go under Patterson. And he decided to go back into the private sector. That's what my memory is telling me.
That's what I read. I read it as well, TMT, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts. And you know,
stretch me, you know how long ago that was? That's 32 years.
Yeah, but there's a saying in a leopard never changes spot. And one thing I learned in representational politics,
yes,
you serve the people and you love the people irrespective of where you are. And some people they don't love the people, but they just want power because whenever they are trouble, they are ordinary men and women. But whenever they have leadership status, it speaks better to their image. And I am wary of persons who enter representational politics that are lacking love for people.
Yeah.
And this is what I find with a lot of persons on the other side, the PMP. Yeah. It's about power. You think about Damian Crawford. He was in Trelawney. They fight him out. Dr. Patrick Harris said that he's not fit to be a member of parliament according to a Gleaner article, and that he should be in committee. He should be a part of the IT and Fancy Chat show, a matter of fact. And twice he bid for there. He went to Portland. He was in his rural center and announced in St. Catherine. I am wary of these politicians who keep running around and don't stay one place and build relationship with people. They want just power. Yes. And I'm warning Jamaica about those sorts of politicians.
Yes. Well, let me tell you about Headley Brown now. And I just got a message from someone who I trust. Yeah. Headley Brown's investment house was one of the first to go upside down. He killed himself at the start of the financial meltdown in 1995.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sad. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's sad. And I believe later on his wife was murdered by a cart, I believe. You know, it's a really sad episode of the 90s of what happened.
Yeah. And
people should know of these things, you know. You know what happened before. And while banks were collapsing, I think it was the Eagle Bank, and you had my father lost quite a number of money in Workers Bank.
He was found dead in his car with a single gunshot wound to the throat.
Yeah.
Yes? A firearm license to him was also found in his lap.
And that was the governor of the bank. He was the first governor of the bank?
Former governor.
Was a former governor.
Yes.
And Mr. News, you know, it is funny though, you know, banks were collapsing in those days. So you had the Workers Bank, you had the Eagle Bank, and even NCB was on the verge. But there was one bank that was our investment company that shined gloriously during that period.
Yeah.
And
By the way,
And
sir, the former governor of the Bank of Jamaica, whose wife was murdered, was not Headley Brown's wife.
Oh,
That would have been G. Arthur Brown's wife.
oh, it's not them.
Yes, you're mixing them up. G.
Yeah.
Arthur Brown was one of the early governors, if not the first governor of the Bank of Jamaica. A different man. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that clarification.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. You should try and get Mark Olin on the program, though, Mr. Youth. I'd love to hear your interview.
Let me tell you something. After you try, keep on repeating the same thing over and over is madness.
True.
Okay?
Sure. Yeah,
All right.
sure.
Good.
Yeah, man, have a good day, sir.
You too. Take care.
All right.
We're going to take the break. Well, let's take the break, and at 11 o'clock, we're going to have the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo, Forte. Quick correction. J. Arthur Brown was one of the early governors of the Bank of Jamaica, but the first governor was a Stanley Payton. Yes? So please, the first governor was Stanley Payton. Yeah? All right. So yesterday the Prime Minister went to Halfway Tree, and in that massive show of political strength, he announced that the date of the next general elections will be September 3, a nomination day next Monday, August 18. There's been, of course, debate, yes, blowing hot and cold sometimes, over the issue of fixed election dates and a promise that was made by Holness to enact legislation to fix election dates in Jamaica. He has not done so, yes. I see where some are saying that what he has done by putting the elections to September 3 is practically, effectively, fix the election date. I don't know if that is so. Yes? Because the whole idea of fixed election dates is to ensure that everybody knows when the next election is going to be, or at least a window, a time period. That didn't happen here. Yeah, we speculated that he would have gone for early September or late August. But we have with us the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, the Member of Parliament for West Central St. James, who is in a political fight to retain her seat as well come September 3. Good morning, Mrs. Malahoo Forte.
Good morning, Mr. Hughes. Good morning to your listeners. You're never short on drama, right? And a political fight.
You know, why am I being punished for being a fairly good communicator?
That I will not dispute.
Exactly.
And in fact, some may put it higher than being fairly good. Some
Yes.
may say you're exceptionally good.
Okay. All right. How you see this thing about fixed election and what the Prime Minister has effectively done?
All right.
Is the fixed election day.
So the call for fixed election date is really to bring greater certainty to when elections are held. I think there are good arguments that have been made. No sooner had the UK enacted fixed election dates, it had to call numerous elections, which then brought the whole issue of fixing election dates in a parliamentary cabinet system into question, pros and cons. Some may argue that the UK example is an outlier. Whether that is so or not, it is the example of the parliamentary cabinet system that we are most familiar with and on which we pattern a lot of what we do. So when Prime Minister Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party said that it would move to fix the date of election, it has looked at it and it remains under active consideration. But we are now assessing why it is that the general feeling is that it does not really work. Having said that, we recognize that Jamaicans have been saying, we want greater certainty around elections. And taking that into account, and against the backdrop of what the Constitution says about the life of Parliament, Prime Minister Holness took a deliberate decision that he would exercise the powers granted to him in a way that would take the surprise out of election, even if the actual date has not been set in advance and disclosed. But what we have in this case is the opposition creating all kind of frenzy around the election date, going on its campaign, believing that the election should be called when they thought they were in a state of readiness and had an advantage, instead of allowing the parliament to run its course and the government to continue to do the work to deliver to the people of Jamaica. So if we are to assess what has happened in this case, really it's Mark Golding and the opposition that has created more uncertainty by going on and hyping up the people about calling election when we still had a good time in the life of the parliament to continue to do the work on behalf of the people of Jamaica.
But let me put it to you, Minister. If the JLP leader and Prime Minister had seen an earlier opportunity to win a third term, yes, if the stars, the political factors, dynamics were so aligned, wouldn't he have gone earlier?
You know, Kif, here is how I will answer that.
The temptation to grab that opportunity would have been so immense that he would have gone earlier.
Okay, so let me give you some insight about how this team has worked. This team is not about our personal self-aggrandizement. We are all Jamaicans who are vested in Jamaica, and we don't have one foot in Jamaica and another foot out. We're not people who see ourselves as making decisions that are not going to impact us. We're vested in Jamaica. This is where we choose to live, work, raise our families, do business, and hopefully retire in peace. So that any advantage that we would see is an advantage that would allow us to do the work to further Jamaica and the cause of Jamaica, to ensure that all Jamaicans have a better chance of living a better life. So it's not about personal advantage, as it were. We feel very strongly that the work we have embarked on has yielded positive results on behalf of all Jamaicans, but it's not done yet. And some of the matters still remain fragile. And we believe that if a change were to take place, we really would be uprooting and starting again and setting us back. So
that's a long way of saying, a long roundabout way of saying, yes, Cliff, he would have gone earlier.
It's not a roundabout way. We have to tell you as it is.
Yes.
Of course, anyone is going to take an advantage, but I don't want those listening to believe that it is an advantage that is personal to us. Because we work in a representative capacity. It's not about, when we say choose Jamaica, we're saying we are prepared to put Jamaica ahead of partisan consideration. We are prepared to put Jamaica ahead of personal consideration. Because we are national leaders.
To go back to where you started, Minister, you said the practicality of it is being looked at. You cited the British experience, which are correct. Yes, their fixed-term election legislation has been upended. Yes. Where are you as an administration in terms of coming down one way or the other? Is it that we may very well end up with a tweaking of the fixed-term law, as it's called in Parliament, to suit all conditions? Because there are advantages to the old system of giving a prime minister the power to go to the polls earlier than expected. It can be precipitated by a crisis. It can also be precipitated by an advantage. Yeah, but where are we looking? What's the thinking in the administration as where we are likely to come down?
This is where your excellence in communication matters, because you have, in fact, just surfaced one of the main points of contention is the need for flexibility. I think people looking on are viewing the executive presidential system where dates are fixed for election of presidents, and believe that that system can automatically be brought over into a parliamentary cabinet system without understanding all the nuances and just the differences in it. As an administration, before I come to that, I just want to respond to something else and bring me back to the point. I hear the General Secretary of the PNP spouting nonsense about if the Prime Minister didn't call it, he would have called it. And then I heard you played a clip from the Leader of the Opposition talking about the PM being backed into a corner. Utter nonsense. Now, Section 64(1) of the Constitution gives the Governor General the power to dissolve Parliament at any time by proclamation. Section 32(1) of the Constitution tells you how the Governor General acts. And the general rule is that the Governor General acts in accordance with the advice of Cabinet or a minister acting under the general authority of the Cabinet. So the General Secretary of the political party does not have the power to call election. Round up their mouth and a lot of people will hear it and probably believe that it is so. A leader of opposition does not have that power under the laws of Jamaica.
Yes.
It's important for all Jamaicans to understand that, because a lot of nonsense is being said in the political space. And some people are grabbing onto it either because they are sympathetic to the person saying it, or just, it grabs their attention. Really important that we understand who has the power to do what under the laws of Jamaica.
And in this era of disinformation, it is important that we clarify that. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So this nonsense, I mean, this joke business that we take governance for, it really is not right.
Yes.
So
back to the issue now.
Right.
Where are yes?
We are the political party forming government that has gone the furthest in the reform of the Constitution. The issue of the fixing the date of general elections was considered by the Constitutional Reform Committee, and a recommendation was made. We spent a lot of time looking on the issue, tracking how it has been raised in the public space. And we concluded that in a small jurisdiction like Jamaica, it may be impractical to actually fix a date. Because, as you have rightly identified, there may be good reason to have flexibility around holding of elections, not only for issues of confidence in government, but things may happen that require a renewal of a mandate, and not for narrow partisan reason, but in the proper public interest. And that is one of the strengths of the parliamentary cabinet system. So that we believe that, we believe that we can have greater certainty around the holding of elections. And I think that is why Prime Minister Holness took the approach that he took this time round. I want you to ask the opposition leader what is his stance on fixed date elections, because to my knowledge, he does not support it. If he has changed his mind since I came into knowledge of his stance, I stand corrected and he can advise the people.
What are you saying? That Margoling does not support?
To the best of my knowledge, I can put it no higher than that.
That he does not support fixed election dates?
Yes. For the same reason, the same good reason that it may require a certain level of flexibility in a parliamentary cabinet system.
Yes.
Right? And because the section which speaks to the life of the parliament is a deeply entrenched section, it can only be changed, firstly, with a 2/3 majority vote in the House of Representatives and also in the Senate. But if it is not obtained in the Senate, then it would be by way of referendum, either way. So this is a matter that we will require consensus on between the two sides in the parliament, or however many sides are in the parliament, before we can go to change it from the Constitution standpoint.
Got you.
So there are other options that may be used. An act of parliament may be used outside of changing what the Constitution itself provides for. You can pass a law to set that out. A matter like this, I think, given or the progress we have made on electoral matters, we will be putting to the ECJ, the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, to consider the matter and then advise the government. And in all the circumstances, I believe that is the proper approach. Because even with the recommendation of the Constitutional Reform Committee, which is set out in the report of the committee, which was tabled as a ministry paper, we still would have put the matter before the ECJ for advice to the Cabinet of Jamaica.
Minister, we're up on the break, or we can continue? Yeah?
All right, we can take the break.
Let's take the break.
I will see how much time I have after that.
Next election dates. And I'm going to pivot to her West Central St. James constituency now, in the parish of St. James, and encompassing parts of the city of Montego Bay. I was in your neck of the woods last week, Minister. Are you there?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm here.
And I saw your posters all over the place. We went to Anchovy. You share a border with South St. James and Homer Davis. Yes. And what's your majority you're defending in there from the last elections?
How much is it now? Over 1,500. I can't remember the exact number, but we can look. What would have taken it outside of what would be considered a marginal seat?
Right, a 1,500.
Something like that. Or maybe, I know, over 1,000. Don't quote me on the exact figure right now.
Right, I've asked my people to check while we're on.
Yes.
And you're up against Dr. Andre Horton of the People's National Party. Is it the first time you're facing off with him, or the second?
The second time.
The second time.
And once again, he will be defeated.
What gives you that confidence?
Well, you know what is interesting? The people have found out that Dr. Horton's approach is an interesting and a curious one. I think that I have earned the trust and confidence of the people of St. James West Central. I make representation on their behalf. A lot has been done in the seat, and a lot more remains to be done. Admittedly, I am not a politician that pushes my politics in the face of people. And sometimes, you know, the expectation is that you will see me up in people's face. A member of parliament is not a member of the constituency. Can't be walking up and down in the streets. You have to be there to get first-hand knowledge about what is happening in order to make the representation and ensure that the decisions of government that are taken in the high seats of government address the real issues facing the people. St. James has never looked this good. All five of us, we work as a team right across St. James. And I'm telling you, when I go in, whether it's within the borders of my St. James West Central seat or across the wider St. James, boy, it really has transformed over the years. So the main issues affecting the people, the road, the light, and the water, things for which government has responsibility. I've had more roads fixed in St. James West Central than ever before in the history. But guess what? So much more needs to be done. Prime Minister Holness spoke about the disinvestment in our public infrastructure. And I don't think we have spent enough time to think about it. But the many years of economic mismanagement, when there was no money in the public purse to deal with the real needs of the people. You know, some say that parts of the machinery of government grew idle. And now that we have managed the economy and we have done so without new taxes on the backs of Jamaican, and we have monies to spend on capital projects, the pace at which the work moves is so painfully slow.
Minister, your majority is well in excess of 1,500, you know.
Yes,
your majority is 1,776. So that's a decent majority to be defending. Yes? It would
So,
take a
so
significant swing against you to unseat you. Yeah?
you know that the opponent has been going around showing up, and a constituent came to me and introduced himself to me last week and said to me, I'm a supporter of the other side, he said. But he was so upset. He said, I'm supporting you this election. And I'm curious. So I was curious. I asked him why. And he said, the work that I was doing in one community of West Green, that the opponent came and was asking him to tell the people that it was he, Horton, who was doing the work.
Oh?
So what he does is that he runs to the site of where things are happening, and he takes a little picture, a photo up, and he pushes it out on social media to give the impression that he's responsible. He spends a little moment and he captures it. People are seeing through it because that kind of politics
But
is
that's
not going to work in
deception.
St. James.
That's
Well,
misleading.
yes, I have seen it myself. So I'm telling you, I'm saddened by it because I kind of expected a lot more. You know, you just, it's not a photo up. It's you don't just show up and you take a picture to give the impression that you're either there or aware. And, you know, so.
But I gather,
I'm sorry?
I gather that of the 5 seats in St. James, the Labour Party has, is it 5? All 5 now?
We have all 5.
Yes, all
we
5.
Have all 5.
Yes.
Yes.
That
But
you in West Central St. James and Homer Davis in South St. James are the 2 most vulnerable seats. And when I dig and ask why, I'm told that you have some fence mending to do with your base in the constituency, with your workers, with your supporters. That you have been what was said to me, too absent.
No, Cliff, I haven't been absent. I think the real struggle has been around the different approach to the politics. You know, when I came to political life, I didn't come from a political background. And it's funny how people want change in the approach to politics. And when you bring that change, they want you to do it the same way as it has always been done. So admittedly, my practice of politics is a little different from what the hardcore base has been used to. And it has taken a while for us to understand each other. But I think they are now without doubt that my approach is still in their best interest. It's a lovely constituency, and I tell you that it's the sheer love, support, and encouragement of the people that keeps me where I am. Because politics is not easy at all. It's not easy. As a culture, sometimes we are more taken with, you know, the things that are not substantial. Because we want to ease the pressure. We want to ease. But as an administration, we have had to work hard. Let me tell you, I have worked so hard to ensure that the streets of St. James are safe. So hard on the national security front. The things that are reaping results now are things that I have worked integrally. Right? Even the model of the Zozo, just conceptualizing it, ensuring that security operations are accompanied by community development, putting the policy together, writing the legislation, ensuring that, that the communities are built out, that the streets have become safe, and I'm very proud of the work. I was in Tucker the other day, last week, and a constituent said to me, MP, boy, Tucker streets are safe. Once upon a time, we couldn't walk on the street, top and bottom, at war against each other. And now, children can walk. I remember going into the space and mothers telling me how their children had to go under the bottom of their beds. And it was actually in Mount Salem that Prime Minister Holness expressed the aspiration that one day we must be able to sleep with our doors and windows open, because the story, the horror of the gunshots in the street and just the war, man, the war, gang warfare
So
was
after-
so terrible.
So after
And
these
then the
years,
policies, you're asking me about St. James, the policies that have led to an expansion of the BPO sector that has created more jobs in the space. I mean, you would have seen St. James for yourself.
yes.
You don't
In
think
fact,
it's
I go
transformed.
further. When I visit,
Yes.
St. James, St. Anne, Trelawney, yes,
Yes.
and parts of Trelawney, St. Anne, St. James, you get the feeling that there are two economies in Jamaica. That part of the island is booming, yes, versus the southern part of the island, which is not in step with what's happening along that northern coast, those northern coastal parishes. Yeah, so I get it. I see it.
You would know by now that I work a lot on the technical side of the administration, not just the political side. And I mean,
Yes.
I work stronger behind the scenes than I have worked in the political space. And
Which
sometimes, when you have to sit down to get the work done, to ensure that the policies are properly articulated, that they can be implemented with ease, that what has to be translated into a law or other rules are done. You're not up in the face of people. So sometimes they don't know.
Minister Malahoo, Minister Malahoo, and that's why I'm going to suggest you
is strong.
No, I'm going to suggest that you really don't enjoy representational politics. You'd be better. You'd be better in the upper house, where you focus on the technical issues. Instead of the rough and tumble, the cut and thrust of the constituency retail politics, as we would say.
No, Cliff, I'm telling you something. It's a privilege of seeing the people in their homes, in their own circumstances. That is what allows me and others an understanding of why we have to take the decisions that we take. It's true. When you hear people talk about politics, they give you the impression that it's dirty. I hear my opponent has said that he's downgrading himself. That's such a myopic perspective. In a democracy, it is a privilege for those of us who have committed our lives to public service. You don't get to sit in the high places of decision without going into the trenches, going into the nooks and crannies and seeing people where they are. And it is for that reason Prime Minister says that his heart is so moved to ensure that people get better housing to live in. And that is one of the issues that still plague parts of my constituency. When I go in and I see how people show up for work, and then you go in the communities and you see how humble their home circumstances are, it gives me a fire in my belly to ensure that we unlock every potential to deal with the titling, to deal with affordable housing, to deal with the infrastructure around the community. You don't get to that when you sit in the Senate, important as that review is. So with time, I'm telling you, I have gotten an appreciation for this work like I've never understood it or gotten it before. And it only comes with experience.
Your constituency, West Central St. James, I gather has just about all the demographic groups in the country.
It's a miniature Jamaica.
Yes,
miniature Jamaica.
From the very rich to the very poor.
That's right. Miniature Jamaica. So it has allowed me insight into an all of Jamaica solution. Issues confronting all of Jamaica. Because unlike the other side, there is a part of my constituency, when I got into St. James West Central, I was told Freeport doesn't need anything from government. Pure rich people live there. But after all, they're some of the biggest taxpayers. And we have to take decisions that are appropriate to every demographic. Our party doesn't set up one group against the next, because we have to live together and all society will be stratified. All society have different groups. And so it's about making decisions that will enable our people, wherever they fall, to have a better life. So I would say that perspective that if you are not rowdy and raucous and
No.
vulgar, you
Yeah.
have no place in representational politics.
Absolutely not.
We must perish that thought.
Absolutely.
Perish it, perish it. We
So-
need decorum and decency in the politics,
So
because it is from that space that we are placed in the highest decision-making seats, and the decisions we take change lives and alter the course of the nation. And oh my God, how many lives have been changed for the positive, and
Yes.
how the course of Jamaica has been altered for the better.
yes.
Can't turn
What's
it
your
back
best?
now, man.
What's your best guesstimate in terms of seat counts at the end of the night of September 3?
The majority to form government comfortably.
Comfortably is a key word. What would be comfortable?
Well, Cliff, I've had to say on the international stage that Jamaica is truly an interesting place, and the Caribbean sub-region has enjoyed stability in the democracy that the wider Latin America has not, with the majority of the countries having the executive presidential system. We came to government in 2016 with a one-seat majority, and we worked really hard. And we delivered. You remember how people were predicting that we wouldn't last a month or 2 and 3 months or 6 months?
Yes,
until
I
the
remember.
administration would collapse.
I remember.
Eh?
Yes.
And how we proved them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And how we did the work.
Well, it is felt that you did very well because of.
Majority is a majority. Using sports, even when you win the 100-meter by a hundredth of a second, you still
That's a
win.
big win.
Exactly. So, in the democracy, it's a majority.
Yes.
And that's what we're working for. And I'm so pleased to represent the people of St. James West Central, my 3 electoral divisions of Mount Salem, Granville, and Spring Garden. So we go from the border with Hanover in Great River, then we border in the Wilshire area with St. James South and up in Wales Pond, and we go all the way around with the whole of the Bogue Belt, Great River Unity Hall, Tower Hill, Belmont, Moy Hall, all of the Bogue Belt, and we go into bordering with St. James East, West Central, up in Gutters.
We have to go. But
all the way around St. James West
I have
Central.
to tell you.
What an honor to represent them, and I will
All right. But,
remain their member of parliament.
well, it's a target of the PNP. It's one of those
course.
seats that the PNP is
We take nothing for
targeting.
granted.
Yeah? Okay. All
It's
right.
a competition, Cliff. It's
It
a
is.
competition.
And your
Yes, we
organization
take
is
nothing for granted.
in tip-top condition?
Big up to my team, and a shout out to Team St. James West Central. Hard-working team.
All right, ma'am. All the best.
All right, Cliff.
Thank you. Marlene Malahoo Forte, the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, a Member of Parliament for West Central St. James. And I want to pause to say thanks to our YouTubers. Yes, our YouTubers, you make me proud and happy here. We have our internal rivalries here at Nationwide. And, one of the criterion we use is the number of viewers, and the people we have on our YouTube platform when the respective programs are on. And there's a little program in the morning that is trying to offer some competition. And this morning, for the first time in their history, they broke the 4,000 barrier. Yeah? And then they said to me that, watch it. So this morning when my YouTubers came out, over 6,500. Yes? And, there's only one cliff. Yeah. One cliff. Where are you going? You're not coming in here. You're not coming in here. George Davis assaulting me. A little program in the morning. They usually muster around 2,500. Yeah? They did 4,000 this morning. Yeah? So, the Jenna, one Jenna. Cliff. One cliff use. Good morning, George. Good morning, Jermaine. Good morning, Tada. Keep on trying. Yes? Alex, good morning.
Good morning, Cliff.
Good morning, sir.
Boy, Cliff, let me tell you something. I was at the JLP mass rally yesterday. And can I tell you this morning, I'm in a very jubilant mood. I definitely believe that the Jamaica Labour Party has the winds in our sails now, heading into the elections.
Yes.
Yeah, man, definitely. Now, what is very revealing about this entire campaign, Cliff, is the stark difference between the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party when it comes to articulating its policies in a very clear, concise, and succinct way, Cliff.
Yes.
And I want to draw to your attention a chasm in terms of Damian Crawford, what he would have said about the plans for teachers regarding the student loan, and Darrell Faz talking about the JLP policy of allowing students from tertiary institutions and students in school, not limited to high school, to travel on the JOTC buses freely in September and October. Now, Damian Crawford would have gone on a TikTok live. I think it was with Colin Bell from Portland. And he would have mentioned that for each year a teacher stay in the system, the government will write off 10% of their student loan. So if a teacher is in the system for 10 years, you basically would get a university education free. But the student loan is a revolving loan, Cliff. It depends on funds coming in for it to be able to lend back the money. And you can just imagine our unions are very competitive. If we have to do this for the teachers, we will have to do it for all the unions, including the civil servants, the persons working at NWC, the police especially,
yes,
this crime reduction and so on. You can't tell them, them not eligible. Forget
I thought last night the Prime Minister's response was very sharp, very effective.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Indeed. And no, and you can see that wasn't well thought out because he did not explain the costing. And now I want to contrast that, the clear contrast with the policy to give some students access to the Jamaica Urban Transit Company rides free of cost. Obviously, Darrell Faz explained in a very clear way how the savings from the change in fuel, as well as the reduction in theft, in reduction in fuel theft,
is providing the fiscal space for them to do this.
Yes, provided the fiscal space, and that is the clear difference between the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party. Whenever the People's National Party pontificate on any policy issue, it is very garbled, it is very jumbled, and it is not clear.
Not properly researched, sir.
Yes, it is not well researched. And, this morning, honestly, I'm speaking to what you oftentimes refer to them as the sensible middle.
Yes.
I look at it and I said, there's no way how the sensible middle could be going with the People's National Party after seeing this vast chasm in terms of how both parties posture on policy positions.
Well, sir, I hope the people are thinking about it. I'm sure the Jamaican people are thinking about it.
This reminds me about the West Indies bowling attack in the 70s and 80s, or the prime Barcelona football team in the latter part of the 2010 to 2014. That is what you see when you see the JLP. It seems as if they are working as a team. The policy, everybody understands what they have done. Everybody know what is the government plan going forward. So clearly, when I was there last night listening, because I am not one labourite who just go out, drink some liquor, chat with people, get the jingles and just ring some bell. I listen so that I can articulate the message like how the Jehovah's Witness would articulate their message when they walk from home.
Yes.
And it was clear to me yesterday that all of the persons who spoke understood the assignment, understood they were all on message.
Mm-hmm.
When you really heard Dr. Chang speaking about the investment in national security in terms of the retrofitting of police stations, in terms of forensic, in terms of what they would have done for just the infrastructure to the Zozo and so on. And George mentioned it in his What's on My Mind this morning, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There has never ever been, since I have been observing politics, another national security minister who can speak with this level of confidence about what they have done. It has never ever been an issue. Now notice Cliff, before I run, because I know you have other
yes.
Notice Cliff, what is very interesting about this campaign as well, the opposition has gone to resort to ad hominems while the JLP has been focusing on policies. And the only reason why that is possible, Cliff, is because this is the first time you have had a government that can clearly come to the people
mm-hmm.
talking about the major issues, the bread and butter, the economics, mm-hmm. the national security, health.
Well, the national security portfolio, yeah, as of this moment, yeah, is very clear. The country's most successful Minister of National Security is Dr. Horace Chang. Easily. No one else come close. No one else. Yeah, easily. The most successful Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang. Yeah, without doubt. KD Knight, Peter Phillips, Bobby Montague, all predecessors would love to be able to quote half of what he has achieved in his time so far. Yeah? Peter Bunting, none of them come close. None. Yeah? Time for the break, sir.
Mr. Hughes.
Mr. Papanana, we owed you a call from last week, you know, but it slipped us. My apologies, sir.
Well, me happy with you, you know, but listen to me. You ever hear Prince Buster sing one song and say one hand watch the other?
Yes.
Well, you have done so much for me that I could not have paid you, but I am a self-appointed ambassador to Nationwide.
Yes, sir.
Because let me tell you something. When the people from Richmond and Tree Hills in Prospect in St. Mary call me and tell me, if I know that they are sabotaging Cliff Hughes program because they cannot hear, and I must big up Mr. Compass because I beg and I beg and I beg. And Saturday, the people in Tree Hills, especially Mr. Godfrey, I will call his name, tell me that they get back their service. The people in Richmond call me. The people in St. Anne's call me and tell me that they get back their service. Oh my God, I have to big up Mr. Compass.
Yes, Compass is our broadcast engineer.
Mr. Hughes, let me ask you something. Have you ever do a survey how much listenership you have?
We use different tools to indicate. Yes, we do. I wouldn't say I'm entirely satisfied with the accuracy of it.
All right, me no want you to tell me the amount because I tell you something, you go underestimate it. Mr. Hughes, there is a lot of people, including Papa Nana, if me no hear Nationwide, my dear done. May I tell you that?
Yes, sir.
Right? And as I told you that I am a papa and I cannot buy my silence, so I have to talk. Right? And let me move on quickly now. I think that Mr. Tweed said something, and it fall on Damon Crawford. He said the biggest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich take place under the watchful eyes of the PNP. Now, to show you that Mr. Tweet know what he was saying, look what Damon Crawford went in halfway through and do. Did you know that two guys from down there who I knew who wipe windscreen told me that their mother and father depend on that same windscreen wipe to buy bread and put on their table?
Oh?
Are you there, Mr. Hughes?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
That is buy food to put on their mother and father table.
Oh?
And when Mr. Crawford went there and wiped the windscreen, what you think happened to those people who is depending on it?
Tell me. Who?
Mr. Hughes is depriving the poor. And when them talk about them love the poor, they are making the poor poorer.
Oh.
You don't see it that way?
Well, if he goes there and take a job, then there will be one less job for the workers there.
Yes, the guy told me that he had to work late to achieve something through Crawford was there.
Oh God! But that's not serious, right? That's not serious.
What do you mean I'm not, Mr. Hughes?
But Mr. Crawford wasn't there for any length of time, was he?
He could be there 10 minutes. He could be there 10 minutes. He's robbing the poor.
No. 10 minutes don't make no difference.
You don't make no difference? Oh, I see. So tell me something. Let's suppose I come to you and say, Mr. Hughes, I'm hungry. And you tell me to wait 10 minutes after that you say me drop down. What you would say?
No, man, I'm not hungry. You don't get sick. You're sick.
No, you must see a doctor. All you do, you try your best. Nobody follow them to go take up something when you go so. Anyway, I want to say something to you. I think that meeting last night was very, 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 very well organized. Very organized. And I am telling you, Mr. Hughes, any trap that the enemy set from Mr. Holness, that is going to fly it. And I want to ask you a question before I leave.
Yes.
If I am 35 years old now, and my mother is 48 years old, what age she was when she had me?
13.
Very bright. 13 years old. I leave you to think on what I'm saying. Mr. Hughes, damn drunk but damn no fool.
Say that again. If you're 35 now.
Yes.
And your mother is 48.
Yes.
At what age she would have had you?
Yes.
35 from 48. 13.
Yes.
That means that she had sex. That is statutory rape.
Yes.
Not because she was not the age to consent.
Thank you. And me use.
So whoever did that act,
yes,
ought to be sanctioned criminally.
Well, that is your homework because I raised goats.
Which homework?
What I said to you is your homework. And I raised goats, and if my ram goat will run any of my little kid them, I would have punished him.
But why would you do that to the ram goat?
Then if he got full on my little kid them, when they're ready for that purpose, what I would do?
Oh, you keep them away from him.
I tell you, Miss Freeman, may I tell you, he must love you. May I tell you, man.
Oh.
He must love you.
But this is a mystery. This is a mystery. Where you dropping on me, Papa Dada?
It is all right. Because me know people after you. I mean, I go say anything if we get you in, and no problem. I just tell you, if my mother is, if I am 35 and my mother is 48, what age is he have me? And you tell me the right thing. Yeah. She was 13-year-old when she have me. Right. Oh. And I am telling you, Mr. Hughes, I am positively certain that God is not dead. He's alive. And let me tell you something. God is going to come. He's going to make the JLP come home. Because let me tell you something. Anyhow, the people of Jamaica was to change this government. we have to go start all over again.
Oh, okay.
We have, then listen to me no man. Listen to me no man. New broom no sweep clean, but old broom no know the corner, sir.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Then you know, then what's so hard?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not so hard about it. And remember again, I am asking you, sir, please to tell Mr. Harris Chang that I need to talk to him because I would need to give him some advice. Please, sir, begging you.
Well, he's hearing you. You make the plea to him. He will hear
yes,
you.
Yes, but I make it a lot of time. Mr. Harris Chang, I'm asking you, please, to get in touch with Papa Nana. It is very important. And Mr. Vaz, I need to talk to you people. Right?
All right, sir.
Yes, sir. And
Time.
God bless you. And you take care. And when Nora coming back?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yes.
I wish to God if tomorrow was Wednesday. and I'm telling you again, big up Mr. Compass for me. And you just tell Mr. King for me, don't joke with me because he cut me off a while ago.
Oh?
And you tell him, say nobody make Mama Nana come up, they come hold him, give me, make me deal with him, you hear?
You can't see if you deal with him?
Lord God, that me never want you, sir. You know, I never want you go to partner.
Have a good day. Have a good day, Papa Nana. It's time for the midday news. World at Noon is up next.